Hello everybody. You're gonna have to excuse me, I am a bit sick and I have a very strong accent, so I'm so sorry for you. It's just 20 minutes, okay? It's okay. So yeah, I'm very happy that you invited me because I actually could never come to the web audio meetups, and even though I had a lot of things to come and ask for, I joined the Slack group 2 years ago or something to ask about something about Ableton Link that I was trying to do at the time. So yeah, a little bit of background. I am a musician, or I used to be a musician all my life till around 4 or 5 years ago. I started to get more and more into coding, JavaScript, Unity, C#, Python, never C++, but now I am considering it, so this is how sick I am nowadays. I do many different things, but mainly I am self-taught in all these subjects, so I'm so sorry for the ones of you that you are developers and computer science people, you know. I'm so sorry, it's just 20 minutes. It's nothing impressive, you know. It's just some things I try to do. I will sell you my story since I don't have much technique to sell. So yeah, I was happy making music, and then I discovered Max, and then from Max I went more and more into many kinds of different things. And this is from some meetup we held in Spectrum that I co-organize now. It's called Sonic Code Sessions, so many coders, musicians who don't know how to code, or coders that don't play music that much but like to make blip blobs. And yeah, we just gathered there in a very casual way, just showing each other things and new libraries and blah blah. So yeah, this is one of the days there. We were trying to run Ableton Link and then transform it into voltages through the digital pins, and we managed to somehow get there. This is our meetup. This is all the other kind of communities you can find in Spectrum, but they are slowly leaving for some reason. And yeah, I started to attend a lot of meetups. This is Max meetup at Ableton. And from there, suddenly I started to get jobs as a freelancer. I don't know exactly how or why, but it seems like Berlin is full of a lot of creative people that want really weird projects, you know. And I happen to be the one that knows how to do them normally. So yeah, this is another of the talks we made with the Teensy audio board. I don't know if you heard about it. It can synthesize audio 16-bit, blah blah, so you can make your own kind of synthesizer. I made a polyphonic microtonal synth with my own temperament, because it's very hard to play music that is not tempered in 12, you know, all the... this is not that meetup, okay. Then this is Lead Motion, Tone.js, okay. So a bit of background, when I started to learn web audio, it came from the very interesting possibility that to don't be tied to some software in particular. Like, so I was developing in Max, or Max for Life, so the person that I work for, they have to have Ableton, they have to have Max, or I can make a standalone, but then, you know, so this web, it came very romantic to me, and that's why it's called PopularSynth, the project I will show you later. Because it can run everywhere, so hence popular, or instead of modular, popular, whatever. Because you don't need to have a specific kind of phone or a specific hardware. It can run just everywhere, and that's amazing. I mean, it was amazing for me. And Max had a very big impact on that, because it gave the possibility to explore what can be done in terms of network for performance and arts. So this is one of my first tests when I was learning about audio, and a library which is called P5 also for graphics. So it's very shitty, okay, I'm so sorry. It's not really a big thing, it's just something that you can throw your balls in. Oops, this is gonna be super loud. Or not loud at all. Yeah. Not here, but here. Yeah. So this is just an idea I had, and I made some physics. They are not physics, but they affect each other. Yeah, they sound when they get to the middle line, and you can change the speed and stuff like that. And I was so amazed by this. This is so simple, you know. And I was like, wow, hell, this is amazing. Everybody can run this anywhere on the planet. And yeah, and the good thing is that I am using Tone.js, and Tone.js has a very easy to use API, even for someone like me who never worked as a software developer or as an engineer or anything. And it's written in a very musical language, so even you can quantize events, same way like you will do in other software, I guess. So I can press here 16ths, and it will quantize whatever it comes to 16ths, right? Without needing to do anything else. So yeah, this was really just the beginning of thinking, what can I do with this technology? It's crazy. Then I found out that web media exists also, but yeah, it's maybe not the best thing for music to use browsers and JavaScript, maybe, but why not? And then I hooked web media, and then I wanted to sync the speed of the balls with the tempo, and then I got into trouble, and then of course I abandoned completely. But yeah, then the next thing I'm gonna show you, because it's kind of chronological, I did some visual thingy of this kind of aesthetic. It's just some words that are running parallel. They are running with the kind of the same waveform but slightly offset in the speed. And then, because I was studying how to make this kind of for loop instantiation and managing of each word, etc., etc. So the important thing here is I thought with this technology called Mira Web is also called whatever, is something they released, the guys from Cycling, that you can talk directly to sockets without doing pretty much nothing. It's really, really easy to use. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sending each word and each position of the words. I'm sending it out. So each of you, ideally, will get a different word on their phones with a sound producing script, let's say, that will make some sound. And that should be here. And if you go to my IP, you should be able to get in to something like that. That it doesn't work because I'm not sending here. So let's see. No. All right. We start. Okay. Yeah. If we are connected, it's kind of better. So it's just an old application that serves the index files required, which are called Zebra. It's like kind of the mother of this framework to interact with Max without much hassle. And yeah, this is also really basic. So when the ball hits the word, there is the octave, and when it hits the right side of the screen is the tonic. And of course, as many clients you want, you can have, and they will get a different word. Now they get the same one as usual. I'm sorry.
Can we test this in the local network?
Yeah, you
with
can access actually, but I need to tell you my IP. But I mean, it's nothing, we can just go, it's not really...
Well,
wow, like, it's just, I'm so proud of it because I did it basically looking in forums, reading on the guts of the library and using P5 to do this kind of thingy, and it was just the proof that it was possible, like for me it was like, yes, I can play some MIDI notes on my keyboard and send each note, make a voice allocation with the audience. So you will be the first chord, the first note in the chord, you will be the second, and so on with a modulo function. I got to play everybody, and that was like, hell yeah, I mean, I did it on my own, let's say, but then I went to Spectrum to ask for help to my colleagues there because they know a lot of web development and they helped me a lot to clean out some stuff, and it was much complex in the beginning, but then we just narrowed it down to make like because we had an event like the 48 hours Neukölln, and yeah, it was working, it was nice, but it's not. So you see, as a musician, I got frustrated really hardly because, yes, I can make an application interactive, collective, blah, blah, without AI. I'm sorry, I'm not using AI or something, but, so sorry. Yeah, the thing is that timing is a bitch. I mean, yeah, I shouldn't say that, but timing is very hard to implement. I guess you know. I didn't know. I thought I can calculate the latency and then apply an offset and yeah, exactly. So yeah, then I went to the meetup and I said, hey guys, can you help me to use this library that is porting Ableton Link into a Node.js application? And yeah, I got a synchronized server, which is totally useless because you can synchronize the server, but I want to synchronize the clients. So if I have an application running with Tone.js, it's so, I mean, we are in Berlin, so I can't do this noise thingy like everybody doing and I will get paid anyway. But if I want to make a musical application as a musician and I want timing and I want, forget about it. So yeah, so this was the thing. I mean, now you can use it, it's fine and all, but no, this was properly done, so I think it's start. So yeah, so what I would like in this talk, apart from the software engineers, is that to people who don't know how to code or they have like difficulties, like guys, if I did it, trust me, believe me, you can. Because I know nothing about mathematics, I know nothing about low level, I sometimes don't know even what I'm doing, but it happens to work slowly, and I tell you something, if it works right away, you don't learn something. When you spend 5 hours on something and then you say, oh my god, that's the... Yeah, so I got hooked to that. So this is the... Yeah, so each time you will get in, you will get a different instrument. So that's the whole purpose, is that everybody has a differentiation, because I found out that there is something called the WID, which is not really each device ID, but each time you will make a new, how is it called, a new window of the browser, let's say, it will give a new ID. So it's nice because you don't need very fancy techniques to identify who is who. You just make a list of all the IDs that comes in and you say, okay, so you will be a sine wave, you will be a square, you will be a sampler, you will be a granular synth, you will be, oops, not like that. You can actually connect, if you're connected to the, I will do it like that so you can see it. So if you connect to my IP, you will get one of these interfaces. Everything is stolen from the Tone.js library. I didn't even mess with the CSS, just a little bit, because it was very ugly, and the fav icon didn't want it to work, but I'm not angry at him. And yeah, so this is, I hope it's not so loud. Oh yeah. Anyways, the sound wave is boring. So, yeah, everybody gets his own. I mean, with mobile it was kind of funny. We put it in Spectrum and it was running there without me having to be there, and I still got paid, so it's amazing. You leave it there and, you know. And the romantic thing is that you cannot access it from outside. You have to go to the place and experience it there, so whatever. This is the granular guy with some ambience, and this is very simple to make with Tone.js, like really simple. I know that I'm a kind of a library kid in that sense, like if there is a library for it, I would go for the library and then maybe learn how it's done, but I would just use the library.
The IDE doesn't seem to be
No?
like it's not
In the NI guest? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I brought the Raspberry Pi, but it's not showing up I made the hotspot. I managed to make a Raspberry Pi with a Wi-Fi hotspot just to get here and make it not work. Amazing. I love technology. I really like it. Yeah, but somebody mentioned the other day that that music and coding are very related, and I completely agree, because in music I needed like 15 or 20 years to get comfortable with one instrument, and I play several, so I think in my whole lifetime I will not be able to, same as with coding, I guess, because you really need time to get to some results if you don't go to a boot camp or something like that, which I will do probably soon for C++, because otherwise I'm gonna shoot myself. And yeah, so I wanted to show you another thing just before going, because I'm feeling like I don't have the usual brightness today because of the... I wanted to show you something because not because it's, I mean, it's web audio anyway, but it's a very big change in the game for me, so maybe you might be interested. Where is the, here? Why is it so big now? I never saw it that big, crazy. So yeah, it's it was a company making a compiler for pure data patches that basically you can take a pure data patch and export it to VST, or export it to C, or export it to JavaScript, or export it to Unity plugin. So it's like kind of, wow, I started to make my patches, then export them into Unity, add them to objects, and accessing the parameters through script. Crazy, like super easy, super nice, very beautiful, and now they released it on GitHub, so I downloaded it, I fixed all the things that weren't working for me, I spent months trying to make it work, then I finally got it to work someday that I was bored. And yeah, so now I made to work this technology they used in this thing is an artist called David Lee, and the audio is Dolphin Club Audio. If you click there, you go to a very cryptic website. It's very nice. And yeah, so I never could export to JavaScript. I don't know why. It's something called mscript10. Have you heard of it? mscript10, yeah. So I had to install the SDK, deactivate, no, it's not that version, no, it's not that, no, it's not a valid Windows application. All that, suddenly I got it to work, but now I'm stuck in the last point. I already exported my pure data patch into WebAssembly, blah, blah, wasm, asm, JS. But I tried to import it in the, like script, JavaScript, source here. No, I'm sorry. So I'm there. So if you can help me on that, it will be amazing, because it's such a, and they say it's much more efficient than any library you can use, because it's something called WebAssembly, which is, wow, it's like AI, like you have to do it, otherwise. So look at this thing. Sorry, I have to close Max because he's an angry girl. Okay. It's crazily nice. It's super nice. And they are not samples. It's just a pure data patch, The guy just got the $1,000 and just sent the thing, like. Amazing. How cool is that, man? Like, really, I want to do this, and I'm almost there. Just give me some years. And look at the new one this guy has. I guess the audio is from the same guy. And they used AI on this one. This is not a joke, like, for the chords. Come on. Man, in the web, it looks like a fucking PlayStation 2 or something. I'm very surprised by all these times we are living. Oh, this is my... Yeah, this is... You're talking too much, Carlo. Shut up, Carlo. Yeah. So yeah, here's the GitHub if you want to check it out. It's called Heavy Compiler. and you can export to a myriad of things from pure data, which unfortunately is super ugly to work with. It's terribly ugly. It's very nice, it's open source, it's the best thing in the world, but it's super ugly, and if you make a big patch, it's very easy to get lost very fastly. I would love to do with Max or something, but this is really, it's really easy to make very impressive things. I don't know about the performance, but since this is the WebAssembly thing, so if you see me afterwards and you wanna help me with that, just with distance, because I'm a bit sick, so yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. This is where I am now, and I guess you are. Thank you very much.